Hello everyone, welcome to another vlog. As you can see behind me, I'm back at the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California, because they are celebrating 100 years of tours. So 1923 to 2023 of tours of the Winchester Mystery House. So I wanted to see, they put a display of the 100-year tours in the gift shop, so I'm going to go check that out and show you. And there's a motorcycle passing by, so we'll give that a second. Sorry, there's a motorcycle passing by, so you gotta pause for those things. But anyway, I'm gonna show you the little mini museum they put in the gift shop, as well as some commemorative things for the 100 years. So let's go check it out together, shall we? But as you can see here, they are celebrating 100 years of mystery. So 100 years of the tours of the Winchester Mystery House. And it looks like they put up this plaque for the 100 years. And it says 100 years have passed since Sarah L. Winchester first arrived in the Santa Clara Valley with nearly $20 million and began quietly adding rooms to a small country farmhouse. Then 3 miles west of San Jose. The years have passed since the massive restoration of the Winchester House and Gardens commenced as a tribute to America's and San Jose's bicentennials. Today, the Winchester Estate is once again the showplace of the valley, although the Lady of Mystery was called from her earthly home in 1922. We believe these events have permitted Sarah L. Winchester, in her own way, to achieve a unique kind of eternal life. This plaque was dedicated on Friday, April 13th, 1984, by the Winchester Mystery House Restoration Board. Okay, so the plaque is from the 80s, but they just put in this 100 years of mystery. Oh, I'm wrong. This is 100 years of mystery altogether, not tours. But you know what? We never looked at this plaque before, so it's okay. So there you go. And they mentioned the 100th anniversary of tours on the ticket booth. And inside the gift shop here, there's an exhibit of the 100 years of tours. So let's go inside and check it out. Okay, so once you enter the gift shop, they do have the 100 years new display here, and let's go inside and see what they have. Alright, so once you first come inside, they have just a general overview, saying a century has passed and that millions of guests have come to the Winchester Mystery House. And then they have this kind of Victorian display, including in loving memory of Sarah Winchester, and then some books that I'm assuming were hers, or at least from that era. And then here is just kind of all the times the Winchester Mystery House was mentioned in the media, including, I believe, that's a costume from the Winchester movie. So it talks about the Helen Mirren movie there. And then this says, from haunted to incredibles, all the things the Winchester Mystery House has inspired over the years, including a reference to Disneyland's Haunted Mansion, which is pretty cool. It says it took some inspiration from the Winchester Mystery House. Then kind of all the various either shows or movies or other things that were inspired by the house, including ghost hunting shows, of course. And then this area just kind of talks about how it's an endless work to keep up the Winchester Mystery House, all of the different things that they do to maintain and restore the mansion itself, including some pictures that show that. And then they have what I've shown before in other videos, the shooting gallery they recently added. Okay, and this area is very cool. It is showing the various souvenirs over the years that people could get at the Winchester Mystery House, including plates and housewares, light fixtures, the old tour begin signs before they do the announcements that they do now, various old tour guides, kind of pictures from the past. So a lot of cool things in this display case, including pennants and old mugs and things like that, old matchbooks, old souvenir guides, all the things. And then this area talks about how when the Winchester mansion and the area around it was purchased, all the land around it, it originally was going to be a park with buildings and fountains, and of course the main mansion itself. There's a reference to one of the spiderweb themed windows, but in the end it became, keeping the house as the main focus, as a tourist attraction. So it was the Brown family, and they have them featured here. It's kind of interesting about how this all began in 1923, the 100 years reference, and that they started the tours that year, and it looks like they actually lived on the property, maybe even inside the house around that time, so that's pretty interesting. And then they mentioned very, famous people who've come by, including Houdini, who did, I believe, a seance here. Yeah. Oh no, special midnight tour. It says. I think later there was a seance. I forget, but the guest book is there with the Houdini reference, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, then they have when it actually became a California landmark, and the sign that's now included in the front of the mansion, and then the various also restorations that we saw earlier just going on for the house. So definitely a continued work in progress. But pretty interesting. It shows in the 70s when it became a historic landmark. And this model has always been very impressive to me. They've moved it outside of the 100-year exhibit, but it is a very detailed model of the Winchester Mystery House. You can see down to the minutest details, but this is what it would look like from above. You see all the many rooms that are part of the mansion, but everything, including the bell tower, is included there, and the carriage drive, which eventually became the car driveway, and even just this back section of the house, that all of this is still in existence. And then this is actually really cool. They have a 100-year gift area specifically, so 100-year new book and keychains and hats and magnets. Over here, all the 100-year of tours paraphernalia you can imagine. And then they also have this display just before going into the 100-year room that they have. And it shows the original 7-story mansion itself, gives a quick overview. And then if we jump over here, it kind of talks about Sarah Winchester coming from New England and making her way to San Jose, California. And the mansion that was out east, I believe. And then this is really cool. It's the original farmhouse that was the beginnings of the Winchester Mystery House. So this structure is still in existence. The front door is still there. But of course, many rooms were added since. And then this section just talks about the continued remodeling, the very famous story of the mansion receiving just continual updates and expansions and reaching up to 7 stories at its full height after Sarah Winchester continued to design and build for the mansion. And then this area talks about the 1906 earthquake and how much of the mansion was destroyed, including no longer was the 7 stories anymore. And it's down to, I believe, currently 4, I want to say, 3 or 4. But then it shows the destruction from the earthquake on one of the towers that's still kind of like that today. And then talks about Sarah's passing in 1922, which shortly after that is when the tours began. All right, well, hopefully you found that interesting. Nice little display for the 100 years of tours at the Winchester Mystery House. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.